Stamp with Amy K YouTube Live, and today I'm going to show you how I made a fun little Valentine card with the Be Mine stamp set bundle from Stampin' Up's upcoming January to April 2024 mini catalog. And it's a cute little bundle. It's a punch, which everybody loves those. Well, I think everybody does. Most of us do, because it makes things super quick and easy. Sorry, I'm going to move the camera around here a little bit and hopefully get things straightened out just a hair so that I'm not all crazy crooked for the entire video. So anyhow, so this is a quick and easy little Valentine card. Hey, Carol and Karen, thanks for hopping in today. So a quick and easy little Valentine card that I thought I would show you how to make. Like I said, I know everybody's kind of in Christmas mode right now, but you know, I'm done making Christmas cards. Yay. And hopefully you are too. I think I'm actually even done wrapping presents, which is kind of early for me. Usually I'm doing that like on Christmas Eve in the evening. So, hey, Quinn and Judy and Tina and Robin, thanks everybody for joining. So this is what we're going to be making today. Just a couple little layers, couple little bees, and we'll be all done. So let's start with the stamp set. This is the Be My Valentine stamp set, and note the B with the two E's, you know, so because it's got little bees in it, and it's got all sorts of cute little images in it, sentiments, mix and match. Again, you can use it for things beyond Valentine's Day, just a general, you know, you're sweet as honey and I love you no matter what, and all those sorts of things. So it's just kind of a generally cute little card or a cute little stamp set, and lots of options for layering things up. And I'll show you how to use a couple of the images in here. And then, hey, I see it looks like Mary and Kathy and Drew and Myrtle and Virginia and oh yeah, and Carol finished wrapping her stuff yesterday. That's a good thing, isn't it? I think I finished up the last one. I had most of them done. Just a couple things left that I had to, you know, were late arriving because I did some late ordering. So so it's actually been warm here in New Jersey as well, Susan. So yeah, it's been kind of weird. We had a few little flurries one day of snow, but so far nothing. And I should be knocking on everything wood, and not really much to speak of for snow. It's been cold, but not like horrible cold like sometimes it gets. So hey Maria, thanks for hopping in. So this is the bee builder punch, and it's obviously got the little bee body here, and then this is a wing, or you can also use it as a heart if you want to. I mean, it's kind of a little lopsided, but it's pretty much a heart. And then there is this one that is truly a heart, and it also punches. I'll show you how to punch out the little antennas as well, so you can use the heart punch. And I'm all about that because you know me, I do not fussy cut, and anything I can punch or die cut, I do. And so when I discovered that they fit in there, I'm like, yay. So, all right. So, hey, Gail, thanks for hopping in. All right, so let me set that aside and show you one other thing that I used on this card. I used the perennial postage dies, and these are a new set of dies that are also going to be available starting on January 4th in the January to April 2024 mini catalog. So the B stamp set bundle and the papers and everything that I'm using in here, embellishments, are all part of the Be My Valentine or Be Mine suite in the upcoming catalog. And then this is part of a separate suite, but you can also obviously order them individually. And I use the second largest of the little perennial postage dies to cut out the image around my bees, and then I also use this little one to cut out the sentiment. So all right, let me set that aside and grab a couple things. Online exclusives, don't forget to take a peek at those. Hey, Danette, thanks for hopping in. Anytime you're shopping in the online store, these things kind of come and go, and they're not tied to any catalog. So just make sure you're taking a peek at those, because there are all sorts of good things out there in the online exclusives. There are some cute new bundles. There's some new designer series paper. There's some Christmas things. There are spring things. So all sorts of good stuff out there. Just go take a peek, and you can find it by going to stampinup.com and then clicking on the little menu button on the upper left, and then finding the online exclusives tab underneath there, and everything is there. There's, I don't know, 4 or 5 pages or something of online exclusives out there. And then don't forget, the last chance product sale is going on now through January 3rd. This current mini catalog ends January 3rd, and it's got lots of pretty holiday things in it. All of this tiny type on here, these are all items, I don't know why my pages are stuck together, that are retiring from that catalog. So make sure you're out grabbing those. Any bundle that is carrying over, because there are products that are carrying forward as well. So any bundle that is carrying over into the new catalog will actually be unbundled as far as the pricing goes. So make sure you're picking those up before January 3rd if you want any of those bundles, so that you can save the 10% on the stamp set and punch, or stamp set and dies, whatever it is that's carrying over. So let me know if you have questions about that. Again, the details are going to be on my blog, which is stampwithamyk.com, and they're out there today too, so if you go and take a peek at it, you'll see it there. All right. Hey, Joan, thanks for hopping in from St. Paul, Minnesota. Are you guys cold there right now? Like I said, it's kind of not bad here in New Jersey, so I can't complain. So, all right, starting with a Poppy Parade card base. This is one of those cards that actually you can use if you prefer the book fold card, which is your standard 5.5 by 8.5 and scored at 4.25 down the side. You can certainly do that with this card. I just happen to have two card bases that were cut to my preferred card base, which is the 4.25 by 11 and scored at 5.5 across the top. So that's what this card base is, but just know that you can use it for either one. So whichever you prefer for your card base, you can do. And I'm going to put some multi-purpose liquid glue all over the front of this and close that up before hopefully I stick my sleeves or anything in it. And then this is a piece of designer series paper from the Be Mine designer series paper. It's a 12 by 12 pack and it's really cute. It's got all sorts of little bees on it and all sorts of fun patterns that are kind of spring-ish, summer-ish images. And yeah, so it's, again, will be available on January 4th when all of these items are available in the upcoming January to April 2024 mini catalog. So still working on Christmas. Hey, there's nothing wrong with that, Carol. You still got a few days, so all good. It's not Christmas yet, so you got plenty of time. So, hey, Patricia, thanks for joining today. And oh, it's been warm in Minnesota too. It's been kind of a weird fall, and so far, well, I guess winter's only like 2 days in, but been a little weird this time of year too. So, all right. So I've got another piece of the Be Mine designer series paper. This one is cut to about 3 3/4 by about 5. And if I didn't say the measurement on this one, this is card front size, so it's 4.25 by 5.5. So it covers the entire card front. So this is one of the other designs in that same pack of paper. So, but I felt like it was a little too busy to put the bees underneath everything. I wanted it a little more kind of muted on the background. So I'm using some Stampin' Seal here to adhere this to the card front. And I love the little kind of gingham-y look. And I've got a glue book around my finger already. Yuck. All right. Now I'm going to take this and just basically try to center it and get it on here straight with the Stampin' Seal. And hopefully we did most of that. Then I'm going to set that aside and grab a piece of basic white basic white cardstock, that's what I'm trying to say, that I have cut with the second from the largest, which is the one that's just inside here, of the perennial postage dies. And again, these are going to be available when the catalog goes live on January 4th for ordering. And then I'm going to grab my pool party ink and a blending brush. And I did just re-ink this ink pad not too long ago, so it looks a little streaky, but it stamps just fine because I haven't smooshed it down into the ink pad yet. And I'm just taking the blending brush, and I'm not doing anything like really neat blending wise on here. I just kind of want to get a little bit underneath where the bees are going to be and kind of cover not all of it, but most of the panel, just get a little shade of pool party on it. And you don't really need to do this, but I just thought it looked, I don't know, gave the bees a little more, they stood out a little more from the background because there's just a hint of blue on it. So, all right. You loving the yellow and white and red color? I do too, and especially with the little bees, it's just way too cute. So, and again, kind of perfect for Valentine's Day or spring or even summer. I think this one, you could easily take that paper and use it kind of for most of the year. Maybe not so much once you get into late fall and Christmas, although there probably are some designs that would work for Christmas because there's a lot of red in the paper. So, all right. I think we're going to call that good. Oops, I'm going to leave that open though because I'm going to grab a couple of the images here. So I'm going to grab my little bee trails and my little hearts. Again, these are both from the Be My Valentine stamp set, and I'm just going to ink this up and sort of stamp it randomly around the card stock panel here. So just sort of sticking them here and there, knowing generally I've got a bee that's going to be down here and one that'll be here. So just kind of stamping it sort of around where I think the bees are going to land. And they probably will end up in a slightly different spot than they did when I initially put this card together. I think I'm going to stick one more down here just for good measure. And then I'm going to take, this is the little bee trail, and I am going to stamp it in Pool Party ink 2 times here on the card front. I'm going to do 1 time down here in the corner. I think we'll go about, I don't know, maybe here, because you can always cover up part of the bee trail. And then the other one, I'm going to do sort of above that little heart and maybe about there. All right. And close that up, so hopefully I don't stick my fingers in it. And set it aside while I grab some basic white cardstock here. And we're going to do a little Stampin' of the Bees on here. So, hey, Sherry, no problem. You're not late at all. We're just getting started. So I'm going to grab some, actually, I'm going to start with the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And this is the little stripe on the bee. And I originally was going to start with the bee body, and then I realized it's easier to see when you stamp the darker image first. And since these are stamped one on top of the other, for me anyway, it's a little easier to see it when I stamp the darker image first. So we're going to stamp one little bee stripe here. And then I will probably do another one. Ink it up here, and we'll stamp it maybe over there. And give myself a little space in between so that I've got room to do the punches. I don't want to accidentally punch something that I didn't mean to on my bee. As I'm stamping the wings, I am going to take my punch and turn it this way so I can kind of get an idea of where I need to have the wings land on the piece of paper so that they'll be a little easier to punch out. So I'm going to do one, and then I'm going to do another, and then 3, and then do the 4th one here. I grabbed some extra paper, and I'm glad that I did. Do the 4th one there. And then I also need to stamp the antennas. Where did I put? There they are. The little antennas on here. So again, I'm going to try to pay attention and realize that I need to stamp the antennas basically upside down, because hopefully you can see that that's what they look like normally. This is the way that I want to stamp them, because then they'll fit inside the punch when I go to punch it. And I just need a little corner of the paper here. I'm probably going to turn this one like this and stamp this one here, and then maybe I'll put the other one. Maybe we'll try it. That's probably not going to be the right spot. We'll try it right here. And if I need to restamp that, I can always restamp those. Those are little and easy to kind of sneak in anywhere. Then I'm going to grab the little bee body and Daffodil Delight ink. So, hey, Debbie, thanks for joining. So, and obviously I also recently re-inked this one. So it's winter time, and it does seem like my ink pads do use up a little more ink in the winter. I'm sure it's just because I got the heat on blasting all the time. All right, now I'm going to line these up. And they're, it's not too difficult to do. I say that before I lift it off. But they're pretty easy, because you can basically line up this edge with the little tail and then do your sides. So it's pretty easy. And if it doesn't stamp perfectly, it's just a cute little bee, so nobody's going to care anyway. All right, stamp it there. There we go. Got them on there relatively straight. And then there are lots of different little faces in here. Well, I shouldn't say lots, 3 different little faces, 4 different little faces. So there's the little one where he winks, and then there's a little smiley, then there's the smiley with the eyes closed, and then there's the crabby little bee. I used the smiley with the eyes closed and the little happy bee for my 2 bees today. So I'm going to take this, close it up, and try to find the black ink pad back. Oh, there it is. And going to ink up the little smiley face here, and we're going to stamp it on like that, and then ink up the other little smiley face and stamp it on like that. With this bee, obviously, just so you know, you can actually turn it this way and then put the smiley face on, so that it'd be eye, and a smile here, and then just put one wing, so you can have the bee, looking like he's flying that way, or you can do like I did and turn it so that he's got 2 wings, and that he's floating up, I guess maybe would be what I would say. The bees are really cute, Myrtle. It's such a sweet set. All right, next thing I'm going to do is I now need to fill in the little wing images, and there is, thankfully, a stamp for that, which is also in the Be My Valentine stamp set. And I'm going to use Petal Pink ink, and all of the colors that I've used on this, I pulled right out of the Designer Series paper. So that's one nice thing that Stampin' Up! Does for us, is they give me a lot of help with picking out colors on things. So even if I'm not necessarily using that particular Designer Series paper, but I like the color combination on it, I can definitely still use the color combination and just kind of swipe it, and they've done all the work for me. So, all right, there we go. And again, that was Petal Pink ink, if I didn't say that beforehand. Let's start doing a little punch in here. So I have got my little wing here. we're going to stick that in here and get it lined up. Come on, Amy. There we go. Fingers sometimes work better. And then the little antenna, and I'll show you how that fits in here. So you can take it and put it in the little heart just like that. Now again, if you like fussy cutting, you don't have to punch it out. I do not like fussy cutting, so I very much prefer to punch mine out. So if there's a way I can avoid having to fussy cut, I am all about that. All right, and then we're going to punch out this set of wings. All right. And little bits of paper are flying everywhere out of the punch. But that is all right. It gives me something to have the dog chase around later. All right, and then we got the final one here. There we go. Okay, so we got the little bee wings all done and one set of the antennas. Let me get rid of the extra paper here. And then I'm going to come over here and punch out my little bees. So again, they line up pretty easily in here. I say bravely before I punch it the first time. So there we go, we got one bee. And then my second little bee. Whoop, he's down a little bit too far. And then the final little set of antennas, and he's all gonna be done. All right, so again, just put it in the middle of the heart, punch it, and all good. All right, set that aside, and I think I've got all the right pieces here and trying to get rid of all the extra scraps of stuff. And I think I'm going to go ahead and put this on my card front as well, so that I kind of make sure that, you know, if I have one of the bees hanging off, that he's not hanging way off and in a way crazy spot. So I'm using Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere this to the card front. And I chop my Stampin' Dimensionals in half. If you like the whole ones, you can certainly use the whole ones. I just prefer the half because I like the way they fit on most things better, and half holds just as well as the whole one does. so there. All right. Again, with this, I'm just going to try to line it up and get it fairly straight and fairly even, which hopefully I'll be able to do that. There we go. And now I'm going to start assembling my little bees. Let me grab my glue dots. If you're a liquid glue person, you can certainly use liquid glue. I am not, because I make a huge mess with it, so I prefer glue dots for any of these kinds of projects. I'm just going to take my little bee wing and go face down and try to get the glue dot as close down into that point as I can get it. And then I'm going to just lay my little bee right on top of it and pick up the wing with the glue dot on it. Going to do the same thing on this side. There we go. And then same thing for the other little set of wings. Whoop. Oh, I probably am going to have to restamp that, aren't I? See, and those of you that are liquid glue users are going to be like, see, we told you that's why you do it that way. So I will probably grab a little more paper and we'll punch out another little wing here. And I'll try not to rip this one. All right. Because, yeah, that's going to be a big chunk of... all right, let me grab some more paper. Thank goodness the wings are easy to stamp, so they don't take but a second to get done. All right, Tuxedo Black Memento ink again on basic white cardstock. And then a little petal pink to go over the top. So, hey, Daryl, thanks for hopping in today. Just in time to see me rip a chunk off of a bee wing. So, and I believe Daryl's a liquid glue person. Because, yeah, he likes to do all those crazy fun folds and all those things that I rarely do because I'm just not very good at them. I like the basics. I don't know. All right, punching out this last little wing here. And I will try to be more careful this time and not rip it apart with the glue dot. There we go. Stick it down, give it a good smoosh, and then carefully, there we go. There, we'll stick the final little bee wing on. And then I've got my two little antennas yet to put on the back of the bees. So I'm going to take that, and I'm actually going to put the glue dot on the back of my bee head. Do bees have a head? I think they do. The back of the top of the bee, whatever you want to call it. And then do the same thing where I'm just going to go put the bee down on my grid paper and pick up the little antennas. Same thing on this one. So there we go. And smoosh that down on the, whoop, that one's probably a little too far down. There we go. All right. Now we're going to stick them to the card front, and I'm going to take my little squinty-eyed bee and put it up near the top, and I'm using glue dots to stick that one on. So just adding a couple more to the back of my bee. So, all right, get maybe one or two more on the back of here. I think we'll call it good. Maybe one more right in the center. There we go. All right, now I'm going to take my little bee and we're just going to stick it up here. Whoops, I guess I should have the bee trail lined up with the little bee. Might be a good idea. So there we go. Stick him up there along. He's just following his little bee trail. And then I'm going to grab some more of my Stampin' Dimensionals and put my other little bee on. And I'm going to make sure that I stick a little Stampin' Dimensional kind of near where that glue dot is so that that doesn't accidentally get stuck to the card front where I don't want it to be. Because sometimes when you have a little adhesive peeking out like that, it can end up sticking something down and then you've got like a big dip in the bee head, and nobody wants a dip in their bee head. So, all right. So I'm going to take this little bee and line it up with the bee trail over here and sticking it down there with the Stampin' Dimensionals. The last thing on the card front that I've got is the sentiment. Well, second to the last, because we got a little embellishment we're going to stick on it, but that's it. So I've got the Be Mine sentiment. Oh, thanks. I appreciate that, Patricia. So, and I use my little embossing buddy because this time of year I tend to wear lotion a lot on my hands because they're always dry. And so I end up having ickies, you know, getting fingerprints and things on it. So the embossing buddy kind of takes care of that for me. So I've got Versamark ink here, and we're just going to stamp the little Be Mine in Versamark ink. And then I'm going to grab my white embossing powder, and we'll sprinkle it all over the sentiment. And tap off all the extra. Looks like we got a pretty good image there. I'm going to take that, close it up before I end up spraying embossing powder everywhere. And then I'm going to grab my heat tool. So the Stampin' Up! Heat tool has two settings on it. There's a level 1 setting for drying. So if you're doing something like watercoloring and want to kind of speed up the process of drying a little bit, you can use the level 1 setting to do that. Or if you have ink that dries a little slower, sometimes some of the darker inks take a second to dry, so you can hurry them along with that. Or you can use the level 2 setting, which is the heat embossing setting. And so it gets a little bit hotter, but it does take just a second to heat up. So that's why I'm kind of yakking instead of pointing it at my project. And let me turn it here and see if it should be about ready. And once it turns kind of bright and shiny and white like that, like you see it doing on there, that means that it's done heat embossing. You don't want to overheat it because you can burn it and turn it a yucky brown, and it is not very pretty when you do that. So, all right, I'm going to bring back my perennial postage dies, and I'm going to take the littlest of the rectangles, and it fits perfectly right around that little Be Mine sentiment. So I'll be off screen for a second doing my die cutting. All right, and put the die back and grab the little die cut sentiment. And I've got inked stamps laying over there, and I don't want to end up sticking them on my card accidentally. So I got my little sentiment die cut, and I'm going to use my little half Stampin' Dimensionals to adhere it to the card front. Pick the backing off of that. And then I'm just going to, well, kind of pick the backing off and stick it right back to it. So then I'm just going to tuck the little Be Mine sentiment right between the two bees. And it's kind of centered, but probably not really. So there we go. And then I'm going to grab some of these are also from the upcoming catalog, and they are called Adhesive Backed Hearts and Flowers, and they're in the same suite with all the bee products. Again, you can buy every item individually, or you can use the suite code and just grab all of them at the same time, which is usually what I do because it's easier than just saying I want it all. Just get it all. So, and oh, I hadn't thought about using the little wobbly things. That definitely would be cute. So, good idea. Maybe I'll have to see if I can find some of those. I don't think I've got any in my stash anymore. I used to, but all right. And then just going to add a couple of the little Poppy Parade little flowers on there. So those are what the little embellishments look like. And they're really flat, which is also awesome for mailing purposes. And that's it for the card front. So just a couple layers, couple little cute little bees, little flowers, sentiment, and done. The inside of the card is pretty easy as well. I've got basic white cardstock, and then the little Happy Valentine's Day sentiment and Poppy Parade ink. And just going to ink that up and stamp it here. There we go. And close up the ink pad before I stick my fingers in that one. I would have red ink everywhere. And then just got a little piece of the Designer Series paper that I trimmed off when I made the card front. So again, this is from the Be Mine Designer Series paper. And everything will be available starting on January 4th to order. And Celebration starts then as well. There's a really great joining promotion going on during Celebration, where you can get a glass mat for free with your starter kit purchase of $99, where you get to pick $125 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise and get the Glass Mat Studio for free. Or, so yay, love options. Or if you don't want the Glass Mat Studio, you can still pay the $99 plus tax. Order will ship for free, your starter kit order, and you get to pick an extra $30 worth of free stuff in your starter kit. So you get to pick $155 worth of Stampin' Up! Merchandise instead of just the regular $125. So it's a great deal. Great time to join. It's also a great time to join right now because you can pre-order all these awesome things if you join now. So let me know if you have questions about anything, questions about joining, questions about how Celebration works, any of those good things. Just holler at me. Drop me an email, amy@stampwithamyk.com, or stop by my blog post as well. So all the details for this card will be posted tomorrow on my blog, which again is stampwithamyk.com. I will link up directly to the blog post once it goes live around 8 o'clock in the morning Eastern time tomorrow. So you'll be able to see all the cardstock cuts and all the stuff that I use to make it and everything else. So thanks everybody for joining today. I know it's a busy time of year, so I appreciate you all taking a few minutes on just a couple days before Christmas to hang out and stamp with me. Have a very Merry Christmas for everybody that's celebrating. Happy New Year to everybody. I can't even believe we're at the end of the year already. I don't even know where the year went. I guess that means I'm officially getting old. So, next week, I do have family in town for Christmas, so I am not going to be going live next week, Tuesday and Thursday. So I'm going to be taking the week between Christmas and New Year's off from going live. I'll still be posting on my blog and on social media and all that good stuff, so you can check me out there. But I will be back with another live video around 2 o'clock Eastern time on Tuesday, January 2nd, 2024. I can't even believe it. Can't even believe it. So, and then I'll plan to go live again that Friday after, whatever that would be, the 5th or whatever that is of January, or again around 2 o'clock Eastern time. So have a wonderful Christmas, everybody. Stay safe, stay warm, and